Hi there. My name is Clara, and I want to share a fun story with you today. When I first started learning English, even simple things like shopping felt a little scary. But guess what? Those situations are actually the best opportunities to learn. In this video, you'll join me as I go shopping for gifts for my family. Along the way, you'll learn useful English phrases like how to ask for help, talk about prices, and make choices in a store. Don't worry, we'll go step by step. Oh, and one quick tip before we start: turn on the subtitles and repeat after me whenever I say something in English. This will help you practice your pronunciation. Ready? Let's head to the mall. Clara stepped off the bus and looked around. The mall was buzzing with life. People walked in and out of stores, carrying shopping bags and chatting happily. The holiday decorations sparkled under the bright lights, with a large Christmas tree standing proudly in the center of the plaza. She took a deep breath and smiled. All right, time to find the perfect gifts, she said to herself. Clara walked through the glass doors, greeted by the warm air and the faint smell of coffee from a nearby cafe. Inside, the mall was even busier. She saw children laughing by a toy store, couples browsing jewelry displays, and a group of friends taking selfies near a fountain. Clara pulled out her small notebook where she had written down ideas for her family's gifts. Let's see, she mumbled. A scarf for Mom, a book for Dad, and something fun for my little brother. I hope I can find everything. As she walked past a directory, she stopped to look at the map. Okay, scarves should be in the clothing store over there, she said, pointing to the left. Books are on the second floor, and toys are just ahead. I'll start with the clothing store. The mall was big, but Clara felt ready. She rehearsed her first line in English as she made her way to the store. Excuse me, can you help me? Her heart raced a little, but she reminded herself, every mistake is a chance to learn. Clara stepped into the clothing store, immediately greeted by the soft hum of relaxing music and the sight of neatly arranged racks of clothes. She looked around, trying to locate the scarf section, but everything seemed a little overwhelming. Okay, Clara, she thought to herself. Time to practice. She spotted a friendly-looking sales assistant folding sweaters near the counter. Taking a deep breath, Clara walked over. Excuse me, can you help me? She asked, her voice a little shaky but clear. The sales assistant smiled warmly. Of course. How can I help you? I'm looking for a scarf, Clara said, holding up her notebook. A gift from my mom. Great, we have a lovely selection of scarves right over here, the assistant said, gesturing toward a display near the back of the store. Clara followed her, feeling a small surge of confidence. When they reached the scarves, the assistant pointed out a few options. We have these wool scarves, perfect for colder weather, and these silk scarves, which are a little more lightweight. What color would you like? Clara thought for a moment. Blue. My mom loves blue. Good choice, the assistant said, picking up a soft navy blue wool scarf. This one is very popular. Clara held the scarf, feeling its texture. It's nice. How much is this? It's $25, the assistant replied. Clara nodded. Okay, I'll take it. As they walked toward the checkout counter, the assistant smiled. Your English is very good. Clara blushed. Thank you, I'm still learning. Well, you're doing great, the assistant said as she handed the scarf to the cashier. Clara paid with her card, practicing another phrase. Can I pay with a card? The cashier nodded, completing the transaction with ease. With her first purchase done, Clara left the store with a small bag in hand, feeling proud of herself. One gift down, two to go, she thought as she walked back into the busy mall. Clara glanced at her list as she walked through the mall. Next stop, a book for Dad, she said to herself. She followed the signs to the bookstore on the second floor, taking the escalator up while looking around at the busy shoppers. The bookstore had a cozy, quiet atmosphere, a stark contrast to the bustling mall outside. Shelves lined with colorful covers stretched from wall to wall, and the faint scent of coffee from the in-store cafe lingered in the air. Clara felt a little overwhelmed again. She spotted another friendly staff member organizing books near the entrance. Gathering her courage, she approached him. "Excuse me, can you help me?" She asked politely. "Sure." "What are you looking for?" He replied with a smile. "I need a gift for my dad," Clara explained. "He loves books about history. Do you have anything like that?" The staff member nodded. "Yes, we have a section for history books. Follow me." As they walked, Clara tried to memorize the words he used. When they reached the section, he pointed to a shelf. "Here's our history collection. Is there a specific topic he likes?" Clara thought for a moment. World War II, I think." "Ah, in that case, this one might be a good choice," he said, pulling out a book titled The Stories of War. "It's very popular and easy to read." Clara flipped through the pages. It seemed perfect. "How much is this?" she asked. "It's $15, the staff member replied. Clara smiled. "Okay, I'll take it. Thank you." At the checkout counter, Clara practiced another phrase. "Can you gift wrap this, please?" The cashier nodded and wrapped the book in festive paper, adding a shiny bow on top. Clara left the bookstore, now holding 2 gifts. She glanced at her list again. One more to go. Something fun for my little brother. Let's find the toy store. Feeling a growing sense of accomplishment, she headed back toward the escalator, ready for her final stop. Clara made her way to the toy store, guided by the sound of children laughing and colorful displays visible from the entrance. The store was a burst of energy, filled with bright lights, interactive toys, and cheerful music. She walked in, scanning the aisles for something her little brother might like. Cars, action figures, board games, there were so many options that she didn't know where to begin. Noticing a young employee stacking boxes near the front, Clara decided to ask for help. She approached him with a smile. "Excuse me, can you help me?" "Of course," the employee replied enthusiastically. "What are you looking for?" "I need a gift for my little brother. He's 7 years old." "Do you have any suggestions?" Clara asked. The employee nodded thoughtfully. "Sure. Does he like building things or maybe something more active like sports?" Clara considered for a moment. "He loves building things." "In that case, this might be perfect," the employee said, leading her to a section filled with building sets. He picked up a colorful box labeled Junior Builders, Space Adventures. "This is one of our bestsellers for kids his age." "It's fun and educational." Clara examined the box. It had small plastic pieces for constructing spaceships and astronauts. "It looks great. How much is it?" "It's $20, the employee replied. "Okay, I'll take it," Clara said confidently. At the checkout, Clara practiced another useful phrase. "Can you put this in a gift bag, please?" "Absolutely," the cashier said, handing her the brightly decorated bag with the toy neatly inside. With all 3 gifts in hand, Clara walked out of the toy store feeling proud. She had managed to ask for help, make her purchases, and even get everything gift-wrapped all while practicing her English. She paused for a moment near a bench in the mall and smiled to herself. "I did it. Mom, Dad, and my brother are going to love these. And I learned so much today." As she made her way toward the exit, she couldn't help but feel a sense of accomplishment. Every small step matters, she thought. Clara glanced at her watch. She had some extra time before heading home, so she decided to explore a few more stores to soak in the festive atmosphere. The mall was still bustling, and the colorful lights made everything feel magical. Passing by a small kiosk selling candles, she stopped for a moment. The vendor greeted her warmly. "Hi, would you like to try some holiday scents?" he asked. Clara smiled and replied, "Sure, what do you recommend?" He handed her a small candle labeled Winter Wonderland. This one smells like pine trees and cinnamon. It's very popular. Clara took a whiff and nodded. It smells nice, but I don't need any candles today. Thank you. As she continued walking, she passed a store with a window display full of shiny accessories. Curious, she stepped inside and browsed a section of necklaces and bracelets. An assistant approached her. Can I help you find something? Clara shook her head. No, I'm just looking, thank you. She didn't buy anything, but these small interactions gave her a chance to practice casual phrases. Feeling more confident with every conversation, Clara left the store and decided to grab a quick snack. At a nearby cafe, she ordered a coffee and a muffin. Can I have a cappuccino and a chocolate muffin, please? She asked the barista, who responded with a cheerful, coming right up. Sitting at a small table near the window, Clara took a sip of her coffee and smiled. Today had been not only productive, but also a great learning experience. Shopping and practicing English at the same time, it's a win-win, she thought as she prepared to head home with her neatly wrapped gifts and newfound confidence. Clara paused her story to reflect on everything she had learned during her shopping adventure. She looked directly at the audience, her tone encouraging and warm. Let's take a moment to review the most important phrases we used today, she began. These are simple but very helpful in many everyday situations. Repeat after me. She held up her first finger. Number 1, excuse me, can you help me? This phrase is perfect for starting a conversation when you need assistance. You can use it anywhere, at a store, at the airport, or even on the street. Clara smiled, holding up her second finger. Number 2, how much is this? A great question when you want to know the price of something. And remember, if you're shopping in the US, the price you see might not include taxes. She continued, raising a third finger. Number 3, can you gift wrap this, please? This is super useful when you're buying a gift. Adding please makes your request polite and friendly. Clara leaned closer, emphasizing the next point. Another phrase we practiced was, I'd like to pay with card. You can replace card with cash if you're paying with money instead. Simple, right? Finally, she gestured with her hands, as if holding an imaginary gift bag. Don't forget, can you put this in my gift bag, please? This is a nice way to ask for a little extra presentation when buying gifts. Clara clapped her hands together and smiled brightly. By using these phrases, you can feel more confident in any shopping situation. Remember, practice makes progress. You're doing great. She paused, giving viewers a moment to repeat the phrases again before transitioning to a fun, interactive activity. Clara leaned forward with a playful smile. All right, now it's your turn. Let's practice what we've learned today with a fun activity. I'll describe a situation, and I want you to respond using the phrases we talked about. Ready? Let's go. She held up her first scenario. Imagine you're in a clothing store and you can't find the jackets. What do you say to the salesperson? Clara paused, giving viewers a moment to think and respond. After a beat, she provided the answer. You could say, excuse me, can you help me? Or even, I'm looking for jackets. Can you show me where they are? Great job. She moved on to the next situation. Now, let's say you find a jacket you like. How do you ask about the price? Again, she paused before continuing. That's right. You'd ask, how much is this? You're doing amazing. Clara created another scenario. Okay, you've decided to buy the jacket. At the checkout, you want to pay with your card. What do you say? She nodded encouragingly after a brief pause. Exactly. You say, I'd like to pay with card, please. Simple and polite. For the final scenario, Clara raised a wrapped gift bag. Here's a fun one. You want the store to make your purchase look extra special? What's the polite way to ask for that? She clapped her hands after the pause. Perfect. You'd say, can you gift wrap this, please? Great work, everyone. Clara leaned back and smiled warmly. See, you've just practiced real life English conversations. The more you do this, the easier it gets. Now, here's a challenge for you. Write a sentence using one of today's phrases in the comments below. I'll read them and cheer you on. She gave a thumbs up. You're doing great. Let's wrap this up with a quick recap and some motivation to keep going. Clara leaned closer to the camera, her expression warm and encouraging. Wow, you've come so far today. We've practiced asking for help, talking about prices, and even making polite requests, all essential skills for shopping and so many other situations in English. She held up the small shopping bag from her story. Every little phrase you learn, every small step you take, brings you closer to fluency. Remember, mistakes are just part of the process. The most important thing is that you're trying, and that's amazing. Clara smiled brightly and added, keep practicing, keep speaking, and don't forget to use what you've learned. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. That way, you won't miss the next story where we'll learn even more useful English. She ended with a motivational note. You've got this. I believe in you, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, take care and keep practicing. Clara waved goodbye, leaving the viewers with a final smile and a sense of accomplishment.